Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Denmark. Table hockey players, leaders and organizers. I'm proud to send my regards to you here at the end of the year 2013. With this speech to you through World Wide Web, I'll try to share with you my thoughts about table hockey at the end of this year. I would like to begin with what I call development. More players in playoff, well, that's definitely a thing I like. We have seen this in Riga, Moscow and St. Petersburg. New interesting tournament systems in Toronto and Canada, in Bjarne in Denmark, and new and innovative thoughts about how to organize a big tournament. I'm talking about Swedish Masters 2014. I welcome this very much. I receive a lot of feedback from players and leaders all around the world who all have their own opinion about how to organize table hockey. This is not bad because this proves to me that table hockey is alive. And the good thing is to continue to think about what to do better. That is both how to play table hockey, but also discussions about how to develop concerning tournament systems, for example. St. Petersburg introduced to us a new system, the Swiss system. In Toronto, the points in every match were counted and brought to the next round. In US Open, both players had the chance to choose the table and to stay at the same time, the same side of the table throughout the whole playoff round, which was also good because there were no complaints afterwards about bended rods and so on. I think this is great, and it proves to me that people are thinking about what to do better all the time, even though it sometimes are small things, but anyway, it's important. In Toronto in Canada and Bjarne in Denmark, it was possible for the best players from the final divisions to choose their opponents in playoff. That is, number 1 could choose between number 15 and 16, number 2 could choose between number 14, 15 and 16, etc. Norway Open, which is one of the Big Six tournaments, is now considering to use the same system in 2014. Why should a player who played really great in the final division and finished perhaps number 3, 4 or 5 end up playing against his worst opponent or her worst opponent in life? Why? I think we should give an award to the people who have done their very best to play in the best possible way in the final division. That is, collecting a lot of points. They should of course have an advantage. Right now, number 1 could end up winning all his or her matches in the final division and then face the worst opponent in playoff. I'm asking, why? When I introduced this system for the world 3-4 years ago, everyone thought I was totally crazy. And perhaps it was a little bit crazy. After all, it was a large step towards something new. And it's very often very difficult, also in table hockey, to take such a great step. But we have always done like this. Why should we change it? Yeah, that's a great question, but I can see many sports throughout the last years who have changed a little bit in their sport. That could, for example, be football, that could be basketball, table tennis, badminton. We have seen improvements, and I think sometimes it is not a bad idea to change a little bit. Therefore, I welcome very much that the organizers of the World Tour, they want to try something new, and I want to support this. As long as I'm a part of the executive committee of ITHF and an organizer is writing to us, could you please allow us to do this? Then, if it's reasonable and if it's fair for everyone, then I will always be ready to say, yes, of course, try it. And let us hear your thoughts about how did it end up, was it good? I appreciate very much that, for example, organizers in St. Petersburg, Moscow and Riga said, okay, it's time for changing the playoff zone, we need more than 16 players in playoff. I welcome very much that it was possible to choose an opponent in, for example, Toronto, Canada and in Bjarne, Denmark. I think it's great, and in this way we are creating a new history. Diversity is great, and this makes the World Tour even more interesting, in my opinion. I hope we, for the very first time, will see a new system in one of the Big Six tournaments where it's possible to choose an opponent. That could be Norway Open 2014. Perhaps even another organizer will adopt this system and say, hey, let's do it. We want to do it before Norway. It could be quite funny. The main job for me and the 4 other members of the executive committee of ITHF is to run the federation. I don't look upon ITHF as some fancy place where we can have a great and fancy office. No, it's not. ITHF is an international umbrella federation for the national federations. We are elected by members from the national federations in order to run the federation. That is, writing an email once in a while to the organizers of the next championship in order to make them do it a little bit better. The World Championship 2013 in Stavanger in Norway was a great championship. Like in every other championship, there will always be small mistakes, and it was also the case in Norway. But the small mistakes were corrected immediately, and in that way we ended up having what I would call a perfect championship. The thing is that if you live at the same place where you play, it's much easier for the player. You don't have to think about transportation with trams or buses or metro. No, it was very easy to go down and play in the morning. I like this very much. And it was very easy when you were hungry to go and have your lunch or your dinner. The World Championship 2013 in Stavanger, Norway is the best World Championship I have participated in. And after all, I also attended Riga 2005, Moscow 2007, Budapest 2009 and Turku 2011. And these tournaments were not bad championships, but I would say from the bottom of my heart, Stavanger was definitely the best big championship I have ever attended. An important job for the ITHF Executive Committee here in spring 2014 is also to change the world ranking. We have an expert in our committee. He's called Martin Arnlén. He knows a lot about the world ranking and he's very interested in changing it. I think we need some changes. We have some knowledge from Martin Arnlén, who knows a lot about it. And we have also some feedback from the national federations, who also have their ideas about how the International Table Hockey Federation World Ranking should look like. I think this mixture is great, because in that way we will end up making an even better ranking than now. Personally, I think that the ranking is quite good now, but there is some problems that we need to solve, and that's what we are going to do in near future. The influence of the points, we all know that this is a problem. And I'm quite secure about that Martin Arnlén will deal with this. And I can assure you, we have had many discussions and mails about this topic in the Executive Committee of ITHF. So we are working with this. Another important job in spring 2014 is to make an even better calendar. I'm very proud of the calendar in the last years because it has been made nearly without people knowing it. The procedure is that I'm contacting the organizers of the Big Six championships and after that the organizers of the other world tours. This year I want to do, if it's possible, an even better job. That is, at least 1 week, one Saturday or Sunday each month, it should be possible to have a national ranking tournament. I'm very satisfied with the calendar 2013-2014, except September, because in September there were 4 tournaments in the World Tour in 4 weekends. I think this is perhaps one too many. We need to solve that, and we will do it. Last but not least, some gratitudes. The biggest bouquet of flowers, well, I have already mentioned this, will go to the organizers of the biggest and most prestigious tournament in 2013, that is the guys from Norway, from Stavanger. They need to have 12 points for their excellent performance. What a great job they did. I admire that even some people want to do such a great job. I think there are a lot to learn from future organizers about how to organize. an international championship, a world championship or European championship. But it's important to think about, what did they do in Norway? Well, they have found a venue where it was possible to eat, drink, play and sleep. This is the main key to find when organizing the next championship, and the next one will be in Kharkiv in Ukraine in June 2014. I hope you're already preparing a lot for this championship in Ukraine. Also, of course, my big appreciation to the people who decided to candidate for a seat in the executive committee. That is from Sweden, Martin Arnlin, working a lot with the world ranking, but also other parts of the job, but especially the world ranking, that's his baby. He's doing a great job here. Espen Moore from Norway, Eric Kroll from the United States, and Bjarne Sklepp, the new Secretary General, was trying very hard to make us all follow the schedule, how to work in the executive committee. I admire the job from these people, and I hope they will continue. But I also think it's important for us to prepare how to enter the executive committee in 2015. Perhaps it could be a good idea to have new people in the committee, but people who want to do the work, who knows the rules, who are realistic, and who wants to respect the way we are working in an international umbrella federation, because that's what it is, ITHF. To all of you, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless table hockey.